Learning hybrid photography, one day at a time.
Become a smarter photographer every day at discovermirrorless.com.
It's free and phone and tablet friendly.
Hey, it's Crockett here, and welcome to Crockettville. Okay, all joking aside, you want to know why I choose JPEG instead of RAW when I shoot portraits? Let me tell you. When you decide which way you want to set up your camera, do I want to use JPEG, do I want to use RAW, do I want to use black and white, do I want to use color, you're making a commitment to yourself and your skills and your creative growth, if you will, as a photographer. When you choose JPEG, there's no shooting a black and white JPEG and then later making it color. You're deciding before you shoot the picture how you're going to shoot the picture. And I got to tell you, that freedom, that jumping off the ledge and fully committing yourself as a photographer to shooting a black and white portrait is a big boost and is a great way to help you grow as a photographer. All right, now, all the lines about why you should shoot RAW, whatever. Okay, you probably know that I've got a long, long history of being a very technical savvy type of photographer. We shot transparency film forever, whatever. We're not married to any one particular brand of camera. We've got all kinds of different cameras here. And of course, one of the reasons we're attracted to mirrorless is that they are high-quality little devices that do a really good job of shooting JPEGs in a very small package, right? Okay. Well, when you shoot RAW, you get the digital negative. You know, that's one of the, unfortunately, and don't be offended here, we're just talking, right? Just friends, okay? That's one of the phrases that lesser skilled photographers learn really early on, that they parrot without really knowing what that means. And if you really want what's referred to as a digital negative, I'm with you. And if you do want the ability and the flexibility to be able to change in post on certain jobs, go right ahead. But if you think that shooting RAW and then deciding later how you want it the color-wise and how you want it black and white or toned or split-toned, that's not being creative as a photographer. That's being creative as a computer tech, and you don't want to be a computer tech. Also, a lot of RAW photographers shoot and have their RAW files brought into their computer, and the software that they use to convert the RAW files automatically corrects those images before they see them. That means a lot of photographers don't even know if they're a stop, under, or overexposed with their RAW files because they pop up on screen corrected. That's no way to grow as a photographer. And don't forget, video, right, is JPEG, not RAW. So photographers that really rely on RAW are going to struggle when it comes to shooting high-quality video. But back to me. I find out that when I decide I'm going to shoot a corporate portrait for a big client, right? I just finished up my first big annual report style shoot for a Fortune 5000 company that I used a mirrorless system instead of a DSLR. And I'll tell you, I didn't shoot one RAW file the entire time. No kidding. My shots look great. I have an extremely happy customer. And I have the comfortability level, the internal confidence to know, heck yeah, I can shoot a JPEG on this once-in-a-lifetime shot that I'm never going to be able to do, that we've stopped the factory and had them not produce product while I'm actually shooting there. No kidding. And I'm shooting in JPEG. Well, photographers look at me and they go, Will, aren't you nuts? Aren't you afraid something's going to go wrong? Yeah, nothing's going to go wrong. I have all my backup tools in place, and I get to see what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. And I take that leap. I leap into my own faith of knowing I got this. I know that my settings are right. I'm creating that final image first. In fact, this is one of the reasons why we do like mirrorless cameras is when I'm shooting, say, black and white portraits of corporate folks, I can see that specific highlight detail and shadow detail and exposure. And if I want to put a tint or a tone on it, I can certainly do that. I can see it in the viewfinder of the camera before I take the picture. That is rocket fuel for my creativity. To be able to shoot and see in black and white or vivid color or whatever mode that I want to, put a vignette on it, by the way, when I'm shooting, that is just propellant for my creative energy to make sure that that shot is lined up exactly the way I want to, framed it, the way that I want that expression to come across. For me, shooting in RAW would slow me down creatively. No kidding. No kidding. So if you rely on RAW because you don't have a whole lot of confidence, and I know that's kind of a personal thing, and don't get offended with me, if the reason that you shoot RAW is because you're not confident in your camera or your camera skills or your skills, start shooting JPEG on purpose. Put yourself out on the plank and go ahead and learn how to do that. Why? Because it will give you the confidence you're looking for. That's right. That's exactly right. You need confidence as a photographer in order to grow, in order to create images that are better than you thought you were able to create. And you know what? I've been doing this for 30 whatever years. I'm still not growing. And part of my growing process is shooting a JPEG so I can see instantly, both before I shoot it as well as after I shoot it, basically the final image. That works for me. I hope it works for you. Try it. Do a photo session in JPEG mode. Forget about all that quality nonsense. Look, I just shot a huge budget, a no budget restraint job, a huge job where I had to deliver the utmost quality images, well, that my client needed. And I did, and I shot it mirrorless, and I shot it in JPEG, not one RAW on the entire thing. And I'm telling you, my client is totally happy with the quality. So that just takes the whole quality thing and throws it right out the window. There are times when we're going to have to shoot in RAW to make a big print, and I'll probably switch over to a different camera. So argue if you want to about this JPEG RAW thing, which is ridiculous. But if you need a boost in confidence, just shoot in JPEG, right? Not that I'm the most confident guy in the universe. I'm not. I screw up, granted, but I don't screw up very often when it comes to taking your time, setting up the shot, and getting it right. It's just a way that I've been able to accelerate my growth as a photographer, and I hope it means something to you. Thanks. Don't mean to preach. Bye.
Learning hybrid photography one day at a time.
Become a smarter photographer every day at discovermirrorless.com.
It's free.